Hello there. In this presentation, we will be discussing the role of a court interpreter and the professional ethics that must be followed. In this episode, we'll talk about confidentiality, attorney-client privilege, prosecutor-witness interviews, and in-camera hearings. What is confidentiality? A court interpreter should not disclose privileged communications between counsel and client. A court interpreter should not make statements about the merits of the case during the proceedings. Once again, this statement is self-explanatory, but it bears additional discussion. Let's continue. Attorney-client privilege. It is a long-accepted principle of our legal system that anything said between client and attorney is to be kept confidential. If you interpret an attorney-client conversation, you are bound by the same confidentiality rule. The only circumstance under which you may reveal the contents of such communication is when unethical practices are going on. Then you should inform the court of the problem. In addition, if you participate in the preparation of a case by the defense or the prosecution interviews with witnesses, you must not reveal to anyone the nature of the communications you interpreted. You may not be used as a witness against the defendant if you interpreted attorney-client conferences. Prosecutor-witness interviews. It has long been debated whether attorney-client privilege applies to communications between the prosecutor and witnesses for the prosecution. As a matter of public trust, an interpreter should not reveal to anyone the contents of such communications. Should you ever be called upon to testify about such matters, you should inform the court of your fiduciary duty to keep the information confidential. Unless ordered by the court to answer questions regarding those conversations, you should make every effort to avoid doing so. In-camera hearings. You should keep in mind at all times that any information gained by you during the course of your daily duties is confidential. You may be called upon to interpret for a witness or for the court in an in-camera hearing. The official record of those hearings is sealed and does not form part of the public record. You are bound by your professional ethics to respect the confidential nature of those proceedings and reveal nothing regarding the contents of the hearing. This concludes the first part of our training for professional ethics and role of the court interpreter. In Episode 2, we will be discussing Grand Jury Proceedings and Evidentiary Materials Part 1. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next training video.